6/27, 2024. My name is Dan Javin, and happy holidays to all of you and to all of us in about 4 more days when Holiday Vash becomes our new giveaway crew. Spoiled, not in the game yet, but spoiled on the bigbook.app we have here on the front page. Our new Tier 6 giveaway crew, Beggars Can't Be Choosers. We'll take a closer look at her stats in just a moment here. Later on in the episode, we're going to talk about the faction event that's just started today. We have a full faction. Something I haven't walked you all through yet has been how to kickstart your faction event. It's a pretty basic concept, and I'll say that, I think it's one of the most commonly known tricks in the game. But I have a special way of doing it I'd like to share with you all, and I think just it'll be a great idea to share it here on the channel for anybody that likes to use this as a reference and for looking back if they want to pull this up each time they do a faction kickstart. It might be helpful to y'all. So we'll start off here with Holiday Vash, and let's take a look. So actually, I do want to show you first in the game here. We are just coming to a close on our event for All the Friends I Need, the Ezreal event, so a little over 4 days remaining. So this coming Tuesday there'll be a changeover where this wraps up. If you haven't completed all your missions yet and claimed your honor, go ahead and make sure that you've got everything you need done for that so you can get your 4 copies of a fine crew. And coming up in just a few days we have yet another fine crew in Holiday Vash. So a Psy primary who we've seen a number of Psy primaries released recently, so nothing real special there. And only 2 collections, which kind of stinks, to be honest. And so we know that also the upcoming, at least some of the upcoming collections, and there'll certainly be others thrown in, but the roadmap to the end of the year does include the release of Vengeful, Compromised, and also Festive. So originally I thought, hey, Holiday Vash, happy holidays, it'll be a festive. No, I don't think it's that kind of festive that we're looking to celebrate. We'll see. But as far as future upside for collections, there is some potential here, but she is ranked particularly low in that department. Ranked number 582, starting with only 2, and then some very small collections that might be a possibility later on. But of course, Human Federation Civilian among them, and with only 4 remaining collections, 2 of them taken, it kind of brings her chances down quite a bit. We'll take a look at the ship ranking in a minute, but Voyage top 200. So another thing we need to take it with a grain of salt whenever we look at the future crew that are spoiled here is these crew, their stats may change. They may receive a last minute buff, and in particular we can hope that they'll receive a last minute buff with respect to proficiencies so that maybe they'll be a little more useful in the upcoming Voyage events. But for now, these are the best numbers we have, so we'll judge her based on what's on the screen here. And so this artwork looks a little bit murky to me. I'm just not really quite seeing the likeness. I think it looks like some of the details have been digitally enhanced from a photo, so her facial features just don't look like Jennifer Hedrick to me, and I don't know if y'all disagree with it, but just the likeness isn't really selling me on this card. We'll take a look at the skill. We do have a med kicker here, which is kind of nice, so let's see how that all pans out here in the voyages. So, oof, this is awful. So, outperformed by the very recent crew Ariana, Kenneth EMH from a few years back. Actually from last year, I'm sorry, just 1 year ago. So these are a crew that are just strictly going to take her seats on voyages if you already own them and have them maxed out. And then we'll see on the skill triplet here. Let's do the triplet first. So yeah, strict out performers and recently printed crew here, and all of them beating her. Ariana by 100 points in voyage rank, which is kind of tough. And let's just look at the pair, the side dip pair without the mid kicker. Oh my goodness, well, we all have displaced Boimler right now, of course. It's the last week for the event, so we'll be getting our last copy. This isn't looking good for her. This is a crew that I will not be citing, unfortunately. She will, I'll earn her 4 stars, and she will most likely just sit on the roster until she either picks up some future value and would complete a collection for me, or eventually I may just get lucky one day and pull her in a pack. So for newer players, Holiday Vash, I don't also recommend you spend the site on this card unless you're really hard up for your very first science node solver to break into the Continuum missions. If you absolutely need to do that, though, just put the star on Displaced Boimler. I hope you've been playing for the last 3 weeks. If not, welcome to the game, and the new crew that you have your very first opportunity to get almost to full strength is going to be a tough sell. All the same, at least it's a free crew. We get 4 free stars on her, so welcome to the game, to Holiday Vash in just a few short days. So we're going to jump on over to the faction mission currently. And I'm going to go through a couple of real basic concepts here before we jump into what a faction Kickstarter looks like on a later game roster, and then we can talk about what can be done on the early game roster. So looking at the event here, whenever we have a full faction event, actually any faction event, we can do a crew share. So for mega events, that makes it super easy. Almost every squad leader is going to have at least 4 stars on their displaced Boimler or whatever the mega crew is. Otherwise, typically it's going to be the crew that was available as the prize for the previous event. So that could be kind of tough to share. But if you ever have any questions about exactly what is best to share, there's a tool I'll show you over here in the data core. This tool is called the Event Planner. This little trophy icon here. When you load the event planner and then you load your player profile into the game, you'll be able to see recommendations here for some of the strongest crew. You can sort by primary. You can also sort by best skill pair and best overall strength. Also by bonus as well. So here we can see for this event, not only is the Mega Crew Displaced Boimler providing a bonus, but also 1701 Bashir, who is the threshold purple that you'll be earning as you play along. So all those crew, if you have them frozen, you may want to unfreeze them and certainly give them a chance to earn a little bit more on your shuttles. Further down, we can see your overall coverage here. So for your roster, you can check for particularly hard shuttles to staff or just in general. Like for here, I have Mirror Boimler frozen. If I found any sec end shuttles, maybe if they were getting particularly tough for me to staff, I may unfreeze him. But it also might be best just to kind of let it ride. And then towards the bottom here, you can see all of your open shuttles, and you can actually get a recommendation in-game based on your roster of what your shuttle staffing could look like for even a beginner loadout, but also even if you want to run multiple shuttles. So here it looks like I've got pretty good percentages on these shuttles, and so this can help you to staff them, much like the Voyage Calculator will help you to staff them. So we'll jump back to the game and take a look at starting a faction kickstart here. So here I've already got a few shuttles open, and I did this to illustrate what it's going to look like when you do this particular faction kickstart that I use. You actually are going to open and run the shuttle missions, but not collect them as you go along. This event I've chosen to run Terran Empire. I like the components that drop from it. I don't need very much of the faction exclusive items anymore, but it drops alcohol and Starfleet uniforms and polyalloy, all of which I will always need, so it's always one of my favorites to run. When you do this Kickstarter, you want to just go ahead and put your strongest crew up top and continue to do that. If you have a mid-sized to a large-sized roster, you can do this without having to worry about splitting it up. But if you're low on crew, you can just put one really strong crew that'll get you 99%, and then scroll all the way to the bottom and just throw random Joes in. Everybody has something to say today. Just throw random people in, because if you're already at 99%, you're not going to go higher than that. So that's a great way to stretch out your faction kickstart. So we're going to send 4 more shuttles here. Remember to go back up to the top, get another maximum crew, and then back down to the bottom.
I'm not bothered by what people think of me.
That's good. We'll do 2 more. I'm just going to pull them right off the top here. And what the trick is here to get your Kickstarter going is, and again, you'll notice I haven't collected my prior shuttles, so the best crew in the game are already locked behind these first 4 shuttles that I have here, and we'll get back to that later for what we do with these 4 shuttles. And then as these shuttles count down, they're going to cumulatively take more of my crew and basically put them on ice for a short while until we finish this first phase of the faction Kickstart. So we're going to continue to send these out, use a deeper and deeper portion of our crew roster, until we've not only opened all the Terran Empires, but also all of the other 2 factions as well. So we're going to have 24 open missions, fully staffed, run, and ready for completion. So at this point, I'm going to go ahead and fast forward here, and I'll meet you guys once I have everything open. So we're sending out our last flight of shuttles now, and once we've sent them out, we can actually begin the next step of our Kickstart process. We don't need to wait for these to arrive. In the meantime, we're going to get ourselves set up for the next wave. So one thing you're going to want to remember with this particular faction Kickstart is the sequence number is 4342. 4342. So after you're done opening all 24, we're going to complete and then reopen the very first 4 shuttles. If you've stayed in the screen the whole time, the very first shuttles are going to be those first 4 that you put your absolute best crew on. they're going to get mixed up and mixed around if you you know, mess around a little bit with exactly what you're trying to do. So always just make sure that the first 4 you open and send have all your best crew, and then you get them right back out again. So now we only have 20. This is 16 because 4 are still flying. Now, so now we have 20. So now we have 20 shuttle missions open, a few of them in various stages of completion here. We're going to go ahead and I want to continue running Terran Empire, so I'm going to open up 4. Remember, that's the first number in our sequence. And I'm not going to staff them yet. I'm going to open up 4 missions here. So these 4 missions all take 20 minutes exactly to complete. And that's good because we actually have boosts that can help us here. So in our boost column, this little single star boost here at the bottom left that I have 22 of actually reduces the flight time by exactly 20 minutes. And if you need to get any of those, if you don't have them, you get a few of those for free each month from your monthly card. But the basic boost here, where you get those 2-star and 1-star and 0-star boosts, and you can always just buy a pack and fill yourself out. Yeah, there's another 2-star boost. Nice. Those are kind of rare, so always good to get those. So we're going to jump back in here, and we have our 4 newly opened but not run missions yet. They all say assign crew. So what we're going to do is we're going to staff them again with all of our best crew right off the top. It's going to be the same crew that just came off, and we're going to put a boost on each one of them, the single star boost, to reduce it to a 0 completion time. You can get your crew right back out again because we're going to be using them shortly. You don't have to let these sit around. So just go ahead and boost, assign the crew, complete, and repeat until these are all completed. Okay, so that's 4 down. So what's the next number in the sequence? 3, that's right. We're going to open up 3 shuttle missions here. And these missions are all 1 hour. So that fits perfectly with our 2-star boost. Drop that in, brings it down to 0. Throw your crew on. If you don't have 2-star boosts because they are so difficult to drop from those basic packs, and you just don't want to waste the credits because you need it for retrievals or anything that you need credits for, you can go ahead and upgrade and use the 3-star boosts. They drop your time by an hour and a half each, and so those can be, I think, you know, a little more valuable, especially if you're just trying to maybe get to the top 750. Using those 3-star boosts can be pretty valuable throughout the week. But I like to just make sure I kind of mini-max here, just use exactly what's needed. Okay, so next number in the sequence, we did our 4, we did our 3, now we're back up to 4. We're going to do this a little bit special here, but we are going to open all 4 missions first. So remember that trick we did where we staffed but we didn't complete our shuttles? We're going to do that here. We're going to pick one, and then a couple of garbage ones here, because I don't want to use all my best crew. And we're going to use our 3-minute time reduction. We're going to send it. We are not going to complete, just close out. We're going to do this second time. The problem is if you don't do it like this, you're not going to be able to use the rest of your easy-to-get boosts. You don't want to dip into your 4- and 5-star boosts just to be able to do your kickstart. So we're going to do that, send 2 of those. Now we're going to assign and complete instantly the last 2 shuttles here. So that third flight of 4, you're going to split into 2 halves and do it exactly like I showed you here. So we're going to send and complete these final 2. Come on, come on, come on. Okay, so our last number in the sequence is 2. We're going to open up 2 missions here, and these are going to be our final ones, and these are going to be our 4-star missions. So we're going to use a 4-star boost to reduce the 2-hour time frame down to 0. So here's our 4-star boost. Just throw anybody on here. We're going to send, and do our last one. Just a 4-star boost, alright. And now you're ready. You can just collect every single shuttle, starting from the beginning, all 24 of them. So let's see where we're at. I'm curious to see how many people are kickstarting today. It's about a half hour after the beginning of the event here, so let's see what rank we are. 392, so about 400 people trying hard this event, so that number may increase as the hour goes on and people take their lunch break, but kind of low. I typically see somewhere in the 700s or so, maybe 800s, so maybe people aren't as excited about this event as I thought they might be. All the same, now we can go into our normal shuttle flight. So whatever faction you want to run, my next best recommendation, just open all 8 of them. And then load them up into that data core and have it tell you among your easiest ones to staff. And there are going to be some shuttles that only take 3 crew, like this one here. There's usually an arrangement of 3 different shuttles that only take 3 crew, and then you'll have to pick one that takes 4 crew to round it out. So if you're just doing your basic eventing, you're not buying with shuttle tokens any additional shuttles. If you're really not pushing for rank, which is beyond the scope of this chat here, just pick the 4 easiest ones to staff, so you're tying up less of your crew, and then go ahead and send them out. I like to use, for a full faction event, I do like to use the hour-and-a-half reduction, so it's these 3 star time boosts here. And I find that pretty reasonable to just keep up throughout the day. I'll set a timer on my phone so that I can remember it, because the in-game notification doesn't always work so well. So I just check back in and make sure I do that. Maybe I'll do some ad doubles along the way. By the way, a great tip to get even more, if you don't have a whole lot of those 3-star boosts, the cadet missions for Thursdays on the beginning of a faction event are always going to be this one where you can get these shuttle boosts. And so you can get a 10x pack, a full pack of shuttle boosts for doing this mid-level, the elite tier. And my favorite missions from here are this one, which gives you these medical lessons, which are made from a faction exclusive item. Also these idiots, which are fantastic drops as well, really highly needed for Galaxy. So I'll spare you from how I'm going to staff my shuttles. I think I've already kind of shown you the data core, but I'm going to leave you with one more resource here. And it's one I haven't really talked about yet here on the captain's log. So this is Cab Tools. It's another site that I maintain that was originally created by a traveling man, and this has kind of an overall ranking of the crew that are in the game, so you can jump in and get a contrast to how the big book may rank things. The cab rating is always on data core as well, right next to the big book rating. But also one thing that we do really well is this faction event ratings link at the very top. So each week you can go into the faction event, and there's a bespoke rundown, a bespoke list of all the different crew that are going to rank at every single star rating. So if you need to know, maybe for a crew share, if you're a squad leader, whether it'd be better to share my 3-star Tilly or my 4-star Boimler, you can see here. The images are a little slow today, I guess. Maybe people are using the site for the event. But not only that, you can also see where the break-even point is, where these event crew give way to other 5-star and 4-star crew that you may have laying around as well. So if you're hard up for a share, maybe you didn't collect all your Boimlers, you didn't get Tilly at all, and you want to send a share, you can just look down here and see which one would be the best for your fleet. So that's everything I have for you today. I hope this is helpful to you, and if you're an experienced faction event player that already knew all this, well, thanks for joining me anyways. See you next time. Live long and prosper.